Ignore the hair. I am going to go chop most of this off right after I finish filming this. So let's get right into it. I'm just going to throw it out of the way because I don't even want to look at it myself. I've got like 45 products to get through, you guys. So I'm just going to blast through everything, and I'm only going to give what I think are important details and then just move on and basically tell you if I'm going to buy it again or if I would repurchase it. All right, so let's get into some of the bigger items first. I have the Bioderma Ultra Nourishing Cleansing Oil. Obviously used it all up. This was from Costco, and that's what usually makes me try these types of things, so that's why the bottles are so big. I really enjoyed it. It lasted forever. It was non-irritating. It didn't really dry my skin out. So yes, this could be a repurchase, but I am currently using Dove bar soap right now, and I kind of love it. So it's a lot cheaper too. So I am going to stick with Dove soap for now, but if I do see this again at Costco and it's on good deal, I would definitely probably repurchase that. I also have another one of these. This is the TheraBreath Fresh Breath Oral Rinse. I love this stuff and I don't go without it. So I'm at Walmart or Target or whatever, and I know I'm running low. I just go ahead and repurchase. It's fairly inexpensive. It's usually well under $10 for this larger size bottle. It has a less sweet flavor and it is not strong. Doesn't really have alcohol in it, kind of like Listerine and all those do that burn your mouth. But I just love it's almost effervescent and it's just wonderful. I've never tried the whitening ones, but I have since bought the little mini travel one, and when that runs out, I'll just refill it. So the blue one is generally the one that I love. Living Proof Perfect Hair Day Dry Shampoo. So this is hands down my favorite dry shampoo brand, and I always use the original. I don't use, they have like a I don't know, quote unquote, stronger one, but I really don't love it. I like the original one. And the reason why this is different looking is because they made a special warm vanilla scent. And I believe that this was a limited edition. So because I knew it was pretty much the original formula, I went ahead and tried it anyway, just to have something new. And I liked it. It was fine. But really it just smells like the regular scented one with maybe a hint of vanilla in it. So to me, it really wasn't worth searching out again, just trying to find a special vanilla scent. I just stick with the normal one, and I have since bought a double pack of those. So I wouldn't say I would necessarily repurchase the vanilla one, but this is my favorite and pretty much the only dry shampoo that I use brand-wise. This is the Bumble and Bumble Hairdresser's Invisible Oil Mask. Now, I fell in love with this entire line of shampoos, conditioners, masks, got super excited about it, was using them, and then I realized that most of them have argan oil in them, and argan oil is really irritating to me personally. It's just something that I try to steer clear of. So I've since kind of walked away from this one, and I have another one that I'll talk about in a few minutes, but I love it. And if it didn't have argan oil products in this line, I would still be definitely using these products because they're so easy to find, and I can get them on deal a lot of times at Ulta or whatnot, even Sephora sales. So yes, I do recommend it, but just know going in that this does have certain ingredients that you might want to just be aware of if they don't work well for you. Hair care again. So this is my current go-to. This is the Oribe. And the reason why this looks like this is because I have since just gone all in. I know this stuff's crazy expensive. I don't care. I love, love, love it for my hair and my hair health. I even put it to the test a couple weeks ago. I went on vacation and thought that I had forgotten my little mini Orbes. So I went to the grocery store and bought a hydrating something from L'Oreal, Elvive, and I could instantly tell the difference in my hair. And my husband could too. He was like, man, you're right. Your hair looks a lot like drier, and it kind of is just more just unruly. And I'm like, oh, great, thanks. So I basically spent most of my vacation with like really bad looking hair. And I was so excited when I got home and, started using my Oribe again. So all that to say is this is a refill. So I have the giant pump bottles of Oribe now. What I did was I just went for it, and ounce per ounce, it was the better deal for me when it was on sale through Oribe. And now that I have found that, I realize that they have the refills, so a lot less plastic and that whole thing, and it's a few dollars less for the refills. So I don't want to spend a ton of time on this. This is Acro. It's a very niche specialty perfume company, and I got so excited about it because it has really unique scents. Like one was called Bake, and it was supposed to smell like vanilla lemon like cookies, and then there was one called Smoke and Smile, and one that was supposed to smell like tea. So I bought the whole discovery kit, and honestly, they're all mostly still full. I was so disappointed in these scents. I will say that they are very pungent and strong, and they're just not pleasant to me at all. Even the lemon cake one kind of smelled like those wet wipes that you used to get when you went into like those like barbecue joints. And then they wore out. Like maybe 15 minutes later, I almost couldn't smell anything anyway. So I'm just really glad I bought this small discovery set, and I basically wasted $40 instead of, 100 and something on one big bottle that I would have hated. So unfortunately, this is just going back, or it's basically going in the trash is where it's going. A couple of other, let's see, fragrances. Here we go. All right, I have both of these. They're the same scent. This is the Amber Nemat oil from that company. I have used this stuff for absolute years. Used to purchase it at Whole Foods because that was pretty much the only place you could find it was Whole Foods and like health food stores. But then it's since got a lot more popular. You could order it on Ulta and that type of thing. I got so excited when I was able to start buying it at more mainstream stores. However, when I purchased this thinking it would be convenient, there was really no scent. I mean, it was just like, it smelled like there was a few drops of the amber oil and then maybe a carrier oil. So I thought, okay, this was a bad choice. Let's go back to the original. Unfortunately, the original is doing the same thing to me. So instead of wasting it, I just basically dumped it in an unscented lotion that I had just to kind of use it up. And I talked to the guy at my local Whole Foods. He said he hasn't had a problem with people like returning it necessarily, but he uses this products as well. And he noticed that it just doesn't smell the way it used to on him. And that's my problem. I mean, I used to get compliments all the time. My husband always knew when I was wearing this. And now it's like I don't even smell it. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be purchasing this for a while. Maybe in a couple months or so, I'll recheck again. But yeah, I don't know if they changed the formula or just decided to like use less of it and try to make their, formula spread further with maybe more carrier oil or something. But it's really disappointing because this was honestly one of my favorite and really affordable fragrances in the past. So I'm really bummed about that. Speaking of fragrance, I do have this that I really enjoyed. I've used 2 or 3 of these actually. I just had thrown the others away. This is just really affordable, and I always like to say this is kind of like the Sol de Janeiro's baby sister. So, you got Barbie and then you got Skipper. This is Skipper. Sol de Janeiro products, I love them, but A, they're very expensive, and B, they just sometimes are a little bit too strong, especially if you like other fragrances and perfumes. You don't want to like necessarily mix them. And so I felt like I was getting kind of like the benefits of those lovely warm scents with using this, but then this kind of wears down softer and I can still wear pretty much whatever fragrance I want. And again, this is so much more affordable. But I do love that scent. It's just a soft, nice smell. I stopped purchasing it for the summer because I was using something else. But this is a nice one that I think I'll probably go back to maybe this fall if I can still find it in stock. And, it's Jergens, so I usually find it at Target. I think I found it at Walmart one time. So I usually just kind of keep an eye out for the purple bottle. And it's just a deep conditioning shea and cocoa butter blend. It doesn't really have a specific scent name on it, but I just look for the purple one with the little flowers. Moving on to one more fragrance. I think this might be my last fragrance. This is the Atelier Cologne. It is the Clementine, California. And this was kind of, I think it was like one of those like 100-point things that you can get through Sephora. So I thought, well, that would be a fun one to try because I love orange scented and orange blossom scented perfumes, especially from like Jo Malone and those types. Unfortunately, this was terrible. I really don't know how else to put it. I'm not even going to try to finish it. It's probably 3/4 of the way full. It just smells like an old musty perfume with a little bit of orange blossom like chucked in there. And I cannot handle it, to be honest with you. It just is not good, and it just wears down in a really musty kind of scent. And so anyway, I'm glad I didn't pay money for this, but that is why I enjoy getting like point perks and things like that, is because it gives you a chance to try something that you may not otherwise, and you can find some gems, but unfortunately this one was not. Timeless. I stopped purchasing this probably last spring. And I don't know why. I guess I just wanted to simplify things and not necessarily have 800 steps in my skincare, especially during the summer. I'm just a lot lazier and I just want to slap on a bunch of sunscreen and kind of go. But I do miss this. This was the 20% vitamin C with ferulic acid and vitamin E in it. Love the pump on it. And I enjoyed it so much that I obviously bought the biggest bottle you can buy, and you kind of get the most bang for your buck here as well. I do like that they added the pump, and it does, it's darker so that it doesn't get as much sunlight into it, and kind of helps you to keep this product from going bad quickly, because a lot of them are not very shelf stable. So will I repurchase this? Absolutely. I'm just kind of waiting to get an email that says that they're having a sale again, because I just don't like to pay full price for things. But I'm telling you, it makes such a difference. At probably a month or so after I stopped using it, I really started to notice that I have like a little bit more of like my dark spots popping through, and my skin just doesn't look as bright or radiant as it was, and I feel like this was one of the biggest helpers of that. So yes, I am a believer in vitamin C. It does have a funky smell, but it's not as hot dog of a smell as the expensive, more expensive line is. So yeah, I like Timeless overall. So I will be repurchasing that. Watermelon Glow Recipe Niacinamide Dew Drops. This was actually a family member had purchased this thinking it was gonna be great. They didn't really enjoy it. So I took it and thought, okay, I'll give it a shot and I can review it. It took me forever to go through this, honestly. This is, I can't remember how long ago this was purchased. I just realized that I don't use things like this very often, and I just didn't feel like it was doing anything to the point where I wanted to continue to use it every single day. So I basically just here or there, if my skin was feeling extra dry or I just wanted like it to be extra smooth, like before I put makeup on sometimes, I would just slap it on. So I don't know if I gave it a true fair chance or not, since I didn't use it like faithfully every single day. But like I said, the times that I used it, and you know, some days would be a lot more regular than others. I don't know. And the other note, okay, it has cute packaging. This is solid, kind of like glass, but it's got that very, very generic manufactured watermelon scent. And what this reminds me of is like maybe a lotion that I had kind of gotten from one of those little gift sets. It was kind of almost like from the Dollar Tree a long time ago. And if you know what I mean, those scents are just not great at all. It smells very fake. It smells almost chemically, and this smells like that. And for the price point and where this stuff is sold, I really don't think it should be smelling like that. I think it should definitely have just a much more pleasant smell. So not a fan, and I wouldn't be repurchasing that. I also had a good another 100-point perk. This was a sample of the Biossance with squalane, and it's the Omega Repair Cream. Now I only have the box left because I actually washed out the little container and I'm using it for something else when I travel. I would not purchase this. And again, I'm so glad I got the points perk and tried it, because I had heard amazing things about this repair cream, and I was primarily going to use it as a night cream, which I did. But I had, I had it in my cart previous to being able to try it, and I just didn't think it was that great, and I didn't enjoy the scent of it either. It wasn't particularly strong scented, like it didn't have something in there that made it smell floral or herbal or anything, but it wasn't a positive scent either. And yes, it does have omegas and squalane and other things in it, but I don't know. I just feel like you can get something maybe similar from like CeraVe or some of those other brands, or even like an Olay brand, things like that. So overall, I just, I used it up. It was just fine. And so I won't be repurchasing the Biossance in that realm. Continuing on with lotions, finally finished my ultra nourishing moisturizer from Alastin. Again, is this worth the money? I'm gonna make some people mad here, but I think I'm gonna say no right now. It's beautiful. It's a great lotion. It has some wonderful ingredients in it. It doesn't have a scent. It has a beautiful soft texture to it. Also, I love the pump. And I mean, look at this. I didn't squeeze this. This thing is built well and it uses every ounce up for you. So you do get your money's worth in that aspect. However, for the price, and let's see, it is I think about 2 ounces. I can't justify spending this much money on a regular basis for basically like a night cream. There's just other products that maybe aren't as fancy or maybe product, like packaging well, but it's just too expensive. And I didn't see that much of a benefit, to justify the cost. Now, I will say I do also have the Alastin Tinted Sunscreen Moisturizer. That's a whole nother story that I will probably be repurchasing like as it gets low. Like I'm talking, I will not be out of that stuff, but I justify the cost for that because A, it's bigger, lasts even longer, and B, I use it almost exclusively as my basically as my foundation now. Now today is the exception. Today I did go ahead and put some foundation on just to film, but every other day I'm pretty much wearing the Alastin Tinted Sunscreen Moisturizer because I feel like it operates as makeup, it operates as a sunscreen, and it operates as a moisturizer. So if I were to buy all 3 of those separately, it would easily be the same cost as that one product, and that also comes in a pumped style container like this, and it's so easy to just throw in your bag and travel with it, or just even keep it if you're going to the gym or whatever. It doesn't spill. You use every ounce of it. So I love Alastin overall. I just think that I'm going to just throw my money at that instead of this. All right, I've got, oh gosh, I have a little bit more skincare, so let's keep going. I was using Agency, the Future formula, for my retinol products, and I believe it also had some other things in it as well. So I do like this type of a product because you can kind of cocktail what you want as far as your active skincare goes. Did I see a benefit from it? Yeah, I think so. I did. But once I ran out of this a few months ago, again, I just kind of got lazy, for lack of a better word, and I was like, I'm just tired of using all these actives and all these products and spending all this money. I want to see what my skin does without most of it, or if I simplify. So it's not that anything was bad, it's just I wanted to really see what was working and what wasn't. So will I repurchase this? Probably yes, but I think that I will go towards maybe the fall winter time because I feel like I kind of hole up in my house a little bit more then, and I'm out in the sun a lot less. So I feel like I can kind of like hit it really hard during that season. And I know that sounds really weird, but that's kind of where I'm at with it. And then also Agency is one of those brands that wants you to sign up and kind of continue your ordering, and I kind of steer away from those types of brands. So I don't enjoy babysitting it, when it wants to send me a new one and then I have to go and change like my calendar dates and all of that, or tell them no, I don't want one. So I just discontinued it, but I'll probably eventually go back unless I find something that is not a subscription based thing that maybe is a little bit easier. And I am going to the dermatologist next month, so I'll talk to her again too about actually getting prescription things and seeing like if my insurance covers it, because that changes things as well. It can be very expensive if you don't have insurance for that. I also have a couple of night creams. So the same thing, it's 2 products, but the same exact thing. It's the Midnight Cream. Obviously have 2 because I'm a Costco fan. Bought this as a double pack and it was on sale. I actually really enjoyed this. I would purchase it again. Did I see any major benefits? Again, it was just a really lovely, soft emollient night cream, and I did like how my face looked whenever I woke up in the morning. So I guess I could say yes, it did some positive things. It is in a nice kind of bougie glass jar. It does have a scent to it though. So what it reminds me of is, when you go to department stores and you're smelling all the fancy you know, Lancome and Estee Lauders and, you know, Chanel's, and they always have this kind of perfume, kind of soft scent. Well, they went for it with L'Oreal. So if you don't like scents in your products, you're not going to enjoy this. Other than that, though, I do love it, but I am, again, waiting for Costco to come back out with it because I felt like there was just, I couldn't justify paying full price for this in like a regular store. So I really liked that I could get the Costco one and get it on sale. I also am currently using the Olay Pro Advanced Retinol Cream instead of this. I decided to go ahead and make this purchase, well, probably because it was on sale at Costco too. So you can see a theme here. It was a double pack, so I have the second one that I'm currently working through right now, and it was just a great price, and I just decided to go ahead and get the retinol complex one because I'm not currently using any other active products. So I thought, okay, this might be a good lightweight, like one-step kind of process for me to use in the evenings during the summer. So I'm enjoying it. It doesn't really have a scent at all. So that is a good one if you don't like any kind of scents in your products. And it's soft, it's nice. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. And I mean, my skin doesn't look terrible. There's no breakouts or anything. So I think it is kind of like holding it together for me for the summertime, especially considering I've had a lot of sun exposure. So gosh, I don't know where I'm gonna keep all my stuff here. Let's move on to these guys. I love a cleansing balm, and I pretty much have discovered, since I discovered them, I've kind of used them pretty consistently. And I've basically landed on the Clinique Take the Day Off, and I like it so much that I obviously buy the giant containers, and I buy them especially when they're on sale, either Ulta, Nordstrom, that kind of thing. You can get these up to like 50% off. So, you know, ounce per ounce, dollar per dollar, you can't beat this. I've done the math 800 times, and when it's on sale, it's worth the money. So I love this. And again, it's not scented. The only smell you're going to smell is like from the actual ingredients that they put in there. So I wouldn't even say it's chemically, but you know, it can take getting used to if you're used to something that is very heavily fragranced and you like fragrances. This kind of feels a little like boring, I guess, or you know, just when you put it on. But when you just get used to it and you realize what it's actually doing, it's so worth it. And I ended up buying my next one from Nordstrom when they had the anniversary sale because it was actually cheaper than any of the other current sales that were going on. So I do have this same thing, and so it's a definite repurchase is what I'm trying to say. So what started it all for me with these balms was the chamomile from the Body Shop. This is just the little travel size guy. I used to buy the full size tin of this. This was my like intro into cleansing balms. This does have a scent. It's supposed to have like a chamomile type of scent to it, but it does not smell like chamomile tea does, you know, and it doesn't, but it has a little bit more of a light floral scent to it. Would I repurchase this? Okay, if I couldn't get the Clinique, then yes, I would buy this. It works to me just about as well, but it has an even like more oily texture when you rub it in, once you get it in there. And the main reason why I really stopped purchasing this was because it got harder and harder to find. I used to have really easy access to this brand, and now I kind of don't. So Clinique's just easier to get, and I have coupons all the time, and I've just slowly fallen in love with it. So is this a bad product? No, it's really good. And if you love the Body Shop and you have access to it and you want to give it a shot, you know, go for it. Gosh, okay, now we got to talk about this one. This is a whole nother story. These things are something like $69 for, I don't even know if it tells me how many ounces it is. It's quite a few. Okay, 3.5 ounces for $69. This is 6.7 ounces, and it's way cheaper than the $69, especially on sale. All right, Elemis. I purchased this in the rose scent originally at a Nordstrom anniversary sale several years ago. Fell in love with the scent. I thought it was beautiful. This is it's goopy, if that makes any sense, where this is a little more of a waxy kind of just easier kind of to control type of textured product. This one kind of like goops on you a little bit, and it also kind of like it doesn't get watery, but kind of on the top a little bit. So it definitely has a softer texture to it. The rose scented one was lovely. I believe I tried the unscented. I can't remember at this point. So what I wanted was I was going to try either the cherry scent or the fig, and none of them were on sale, but the original one was. So I thought, oh, I'll try the original, because I mean, it was like deep discount, like 50% off. So still not the cheapest, but 50% off is better than nothing. Oh my gosh, do I regret spending money on this. Okay, I used it all up. So here we go. It's gone. It's empty. So I didn't waste my money. However, I should have looked at the ingredients. Always look at the ingredients if you're trying something new, guys. This had so many essential oils. I'm talking like geranium, lavender. It even has clove oil. It has coconut oil in it. It has some citrus-based oils in it, which is a huge red flag for me. And I mean, I cannot believe that this has lasted as long as it has on the market. It has so many what I would think are irritating ingredients when you put them on your face, and it feels like it's gonna burn your eyes. I mean, it's empty, and that's all I can smell is all the essential oils in it. It's wild how strong this smells. So I absolutely will not be repurchasing this like ever again, especially in this. And because of all the other stuff that's in it, I just realized I think overall this is a better product for your skin. So I guess it's a good thing that I'm not buying $70 a makeup removing balm, because honestly, that's a really out of hand price. And I just don't understand it as far as an ingredients thing. Speaking of ingredients, Bobbi Brown. Okay, I got this as a gift and it was really sweet, but this is the Bare Glow. And in theory, this sounds like a great product. However, again, it has a boatload of essential oils in it. Again, geranium oil and a bunch of other stuff in it. So it smells actually very similar to this. You smell like you're going into an essential oils shop when you put this stuff on. And it doesn't surprise me one bit, because if you're familiar with anything that Bobbi Brown has been a part of ever, even though she's not affiliated with Bobbi Brown, the line anymore, I feel like that's what she loves to do. She just has always thrown essential oils and things in her products, so they're always heavily scented. And this is no exception, and the Bobbi Brown line has stayed true to that with some of their products, and I really just don't understand why. I don't think it's necessary at all. And so what this Bare Glow product is it is cute with packaging though. Sorry, I got like lipstick or something on it. But it's like half full, maybe more. I feel so bad. What it is it's literally like a Bare Glow product. So I don't know if it was like the answer to like all the Charlotte Tilbury kind of glow products or not, when it was trying to be like even better. See the color? It's basically like a white going on, and it has a tiny bit of like a pearl essence to it. And then that's where like another, to me, the second problem comes in besides the smell. So it's so strong in scent that I just felt like when I put it on, like it was burning my eyes. I just hate that. And really what it does is it just like kind of goes into like almost nothing, but adds like a really like soft sheen to everything. So in theory, it would be really pretty to just like put on your face. And give it just like this like lovely little, I don't know, not iridescence, but just a nice pretty softness to it, like with a little bit of glow. But for me personally, I have a really oily T-zone. Like I have put powder on my face twice now today, and it's already coming through again. So this did not help the cause. I had to be so strategic when I tried it and just keep it on the sides of my face and keep it away from my eyes. And this stuff's not cheap. So unfortunately, it's not even half empty and it's going. I found like, what's the point? I'm not putting all that on my face anymore. Let's move on into, I had one more body care product that I do want to kind of chat about. It's the Lumi deodorant, and this one is the Invisible Cream in Toasted Coconut. And what it is it's supposed to last 72 hours. It is aluminum free, but obviously you can see with the packaging, it comes out in more of like a cream type of formula. So the good side to that is that you can put it on, you can put it on your hands and literally put it anywhere on your body. So if you're having odor control issues with more than just your underarms, this can go there. Okay, I feel so bad because this was so good for me for probably a couple of years. And then all of a sudden it wasn't. Maybe probably earlier this summer, I ran out of this and I decided to try a new scent. I tried the lavender sage, and that was mistake number one. That is not a good scent mix for me personally. And then putting it on my skin just started reacting to it completely differently than it used to whereas this used to take scent away. And when I was trying to use the lavender one, and I actually bought it in like the deodorant stick form as well, so I had both, like I could rub this type on wherever I wanted, and then I used the other one strictly for my underarms. I couldn't stand myself. Like I was like, this is not good, to the point where I actually returned it because I used it for probably a couple of two to 3 days, and I was like, oh, this is bad. I'm not doing this anymore. So I have since switched to, like I said, Dove soap for everywhere on my body, and I'm currently using, I think it's called Wilderness maybe, or it's one of the really beautiful scented like Old Spice men's deodorants, and that's working. And yes, it has aluminum in it, but it's working right now. So do I recommend Lumi overall? Yes, I think so, but I would say try the toasted coconut or the unscented, and you'll know fairly soon if it's not working for you, and just, get it from Target or something and return it if it doesn't work. Let's just like blast through all of these makeup products real quick here. All right, this is the Too Faced Hangover. This is the face primer, and it is moisturizing. Basically, this just aged out before I could finish it. It's like half full. I was totally influenced to purchase this. I don't know what I was thinking. I have oily combo skin, and I really don't necessarily need a moisturizing primer because all that does is add to my skin wanting to basically produce more, or like it just adds another layer of moisture that I'm already having to powder down. So it's a beautiful product. And if you have dry skin and if you enjoy the step of primers, this is good. And it has a like really nice soft coconut scent to it. So I do like the product itself, but it just doesn't work for me personally with my current like oily T-zone. So good product, just not for me. I did get rid of one eyeshadow palette. I think this was a gift actually, and it was a good gift because it's kind of perfect for me in a lot of ways. But the more I used this ColourPop product, the more I realized this was way too warm for me personally, and I just felt like it kept pulling really orange on me, and I couldn't blend like I like to be able to blend. And so even when I was using the lighter shades here, it just felt like there was like way too dark of a like line that was delineated. And then let's see, even though these I kind of loved, these like more sparkles, which I like to put like right here, which ones, let's see, this one called the Cocoa or something like that, and then this one right here. So two of these, they're weird because they're like a matte eyeshadow, but then they had like glitter chunks in it. So it doesn't work well. I don't know. I just wasn't a fan. And I also need to say, even though I love some of ColourPop's products like a lot, this is the second, I believe, maybe third palette that I have had from ColourPop. And I just struggle to use them. I don't know what it is. Once I put them on, I just don't feel my best. I use Tarte products. I even have a couple of Sephora ones that I really like. I think I have an Urban Decay one that I like, but I don't know what it is. And I know that these are really affordable and supposed to be really good products, but I don't know if it's just user error, but ColourPop is just not the way to go for me personally with these palettes. So I just don't think I'm gonna get any more eyeshadow for them. I'm gonna stick to some of my other favorite products from ColourPop, like the lip glosses and things. Eyeshadow primer. Again, I'm just too lazy to use primers like this. This was an Emily Noel recommendation. And yes, it's very affordable. It is a good eyeshadow primer, and there is a ton in it. It will last forever. However, it's a little finicky. So you have to get it out with this. You have to squeeze like a minute amount onto your finger, and then you have to kind of pat it and then rub it on your eyes, let it dry, and then go in with your makeup. Well, guess what? I'm way too lazy for that. So what I discovered was that it's just not for me, and it kind of aged out by the time, I'm never gonna finish it. So what I use instead is the MAC paint pots, and for some reason those stay by my eyeshadow. I have a brush for them, and I just grab that, brush it on, and go. And I feel like even when I'm not using a lot of other products, the paint pots cancel everything out for me, and I can even just throw a little bit of bronzer or blush on my eye and like leave. Whereas with primers like this, that doesn't happen. So I felt like I was getting more bang for my buck with the MAC paint pots. And so I'm not going to be purchasing things like this anymore. But it is good if you like the step and you're one of those that really takes the time. It is a good gripping primer. This is the Nivea Dewy Hyaluronic Acid. This is the wildest like chapstick I've ever tried. It's just in a really simple kind of thing. It has that look. I literally can't use it, you guys. What it does for me, and it might be because of the hyaluronic acid in it, is that it coats my lips. It feels okay. It feels a little extra slippery, but then my lips feel like they're sweating. And that's the only way that I can express like the feeling that I get. So it just feels so uncomfortable that I want to wipe it off. And then if I do kind of hang in there with it and keep like trying it, it doesn't feel like it's really moisturizing my lips long term. It actually kind of more feels like it's drying them out eventually. So didn't like the feel, I don't like the texture, and I don't like the overall experience. So I'm definitely just getting rid of this Nivea stuff with hyaluronic acid. I also am getting rid of this Clinique lip oil. This was supposed to be just another one in the line of their almost lipstick. You know, the, why can I not think of the name of it right now? Black honey. And I was so excited to try this lip oil, but the biggest problem with it is it is a little too slippery for me. I prefer the other formulas of the black honey, but also it leaks like crazy. And so if I kept it laying down in any capacity or in my purse, it leaked all over everything. So I tried to use it as long as I could, but I had to keep it upright and in very specific spots, and it was just too fussy for me. So definitely getting rid of that. This one I'm super sad about. This is the Clarins lip oil in Pitaya. I got this as a sample originally, fell in love with it, used it all up, and then bought the full size. My mistake was I took it on a vacation with me as the only lip product, and I had to keep reapplying it because it was really cold weather. It did not end well. By the end of that week, I was disgusted with this flavor. And this is one of those ones that kind of gently turns your lip like a light pink. Well, when you're constantly doing it all day long, you get like this like kind of weird hot pink line, and it just isn't cute at all. And oh gosh, and it's like I can't even open this anymore. So it was my fault. I think it's an overall a good product, but it's not one that I could just like consistently keep reusing. And they do have other scents, flavors, and colors. So, but just know it does change the color of your lips a little bit. And unfortunately, I ruined myself on that. So that one had to go. This was a free sample that I got. This is the Duck Plump from NYX, and this is the worst thing I've ever probably tried makeup-wise in my life so far. It burns so freaking bad that I think I've put it on maybe twice, and it was horrible. And even after trying to wipe it off, I couldn't get the pain to stop. And I actually love heat, and I can eat like really spicy foods. And this was the worst thing ever. So definitely do not recommend the Duck Plump. I just actually ran out of this 2 days ago. This is the Milani Keep It Full. I think this is in the shade Moi. And I have talked about the Tarte Maracuja and my disappointment in those, because what happens is the Tarte ones, once it gets to about there, they just stopped working on me and I couldn't use any more of the product, but I could see it. Well, this is the actual opposite. There's just like the tiniest bit left, and I yanked the bottom of this off just to like see where I was at. Now it's not going to come off, but I was able to yank the bottom off at one point, and it literally only had like the tiniest amount left in there. So this definitely, to me, you get your money's worth, and it's Milani, so you can obviously use coupons and get these on sale a lot. So of the two, Tarte or Milani, I'm sticking with Milani from now on, and they have a lot of really pretty colors. I also finally like finished up this Tarte. This is an under eye corrector. So you can see, like, look at my dark spots. And this is with a different corrector and concealer and powder. That's just how my eyes look. So I did enjoy this. Obviously, I used it. I'm still on the hunt for something maybe a little stronger or better. But if there was nothing else of all the ones I've tried, I would repurchase this. But I do definitely want to try something else. I think I really want to try the Natasha Denona one next, because you guys, I just need all the help I can get. So yes, it's a good product, but just know you have to stick like your brush or your finger in it. This is not one of those obvious ones where you can pop a lid off and rub it in. Like you got to get in there for this one. So that could turn a few people off. I also went through another one of these Fluff It Up brow waxes, just a clear brow wax. It has like a decently sized brush, and it works fine. I'm currently using this again. So yes, I have repurchased this probably 5 times, and I keep going back to it when I get frustrated with other ones. So I guess that does say like this is kind of my tried and true, but I still keep trying others because I think I just want the whole package. I want it to like stick up like brow glue, but fluff like this. I want the perfect brow gel, and it just doesn't seem to exist yet. So I just keep buying this one. Tint Idole, I actually just ran out of this today. I was going to use it, and I'm like, oh gosh, this is bad. So it's just like a lovely little soft brush. This one just gives you really separated kind of fluffy lashes. And if you like to kind of shape your lashes, kind of make them a little more like, fancy instead of just like big and full, this is a great product to do that. I love the Lancome Idole. This is just good. And it's just one of those ones that I always have on hand. It just kind of got really bad today, so I couldn't use it anymore. Speaking of mascara, this is the Benefit Bounce. This is the worst mascara I think I've ever tried, ever. So it's brand new, it's full. I'm so glad, again, I didn't spend money on it. It was like a points perk, and it's disgusting. It doesn't work in any capacity. Makeup eraser, this does say eraser. Okay, yeah, I thought I was reading things wrong. This is the Maybelline, the typical one with a little fluffy tip. I love these products in general. However, this is too light for me. This is the shade 160. I thought I was going to use this as a corrector, but unfortunately it was like so light and so pink that it was just too much. So I did use it and make it work for the most part, but I finally just gave up and just decided I'm going to move on and keep searching for better correctors. But it is a good product, and I do love this stuff as a concealer as well. If you get the right shade, it's really worth the money if you can find the right one. I do have 3 foundations to talk about. Dior Forever. Such a waste of money. I don't know what else to say. I hated it. I used most of it up, and this is kind of a trick, I think, of the eye. This is definitely like way more than half gone, but I just realized later that they did something like dyed the bottle or something. So it looks like it's full all the time, even though it's not. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I kind of like to know when my product is getting low. But other than that, no, I didn't like it. I didn't like the way my makeup looked a couple hours in every single time I tried this. So I will not be spending Dior money on foundation anymore. I am also getting rid of the Revlon Illuminance. I enjoy the formula of this, but for me personally, again, my T-zone is so oily that I just kept getting too much oil breakthrough when I would use this, and the shade's a little light for me too. So I thought between the two, I'm just going to sort of give it up. I would recommend it though for you if you have like drier combination skin and not oily. I think this is a really good product, and they did have a pretty good shade range. This was an Emily Noel again. She calls it the Red Cap foundation, and she got me to buy it. So again, this shade is a little bit too light for me, and it's so full coverage that yes, it does its job. If you need a full coverage foundation, you might want to start here. This is great. I just do not use it on a daily basis. And by the time I'm just never going to use this. And it's so old now at this point that I'm just getting rid of it because I honestly just don't use that thick of a foundation. But if you like it, that's good stuff. I do have 2 MAC lipsticks that I unfortunately have to get rid of for 2 different reasons. This one is like cream in your coffee or something along those lines. I don't have my glasses on right now. And I used a good amount of it, but I just sort of used to be like a pretty favorite color of mine, but it's just too brown for me right now. I'm just not in that phase and it's really old. So I just decided to get rid of it. This is Thanks It's MAC, and I loved this when I got it. However, the whole stinking thing snapped off and fell. So I had to like try to stick it back on and it was gross. So I'm getting rid of it and I am not going to repurchase this right now. It was really fun while I had it, but I just have so many lip products that I just don't need to buy anymore right now. I also just kind of ran out of, this is strapless. This is a Laura Mercier eyeshadow stick. And I love this color. Oh gosh, I love this color. It's just like a really pretty kind of metallic, taupey kind of brown. Let's see, I have a little bit left here. So stinking pretty that I love this, and I just like rub it under, like as an like a lower liner, and then you can also use it as an eyeshadow. Obviously that's what it's for. Love, love, love this. So I will be repurchasing this. I am going to go ahead and get rid of this lifter liner, and this was, gosh, I don't even know the color. I think this is one of my frustrating points of this, is when you have to sharpen this, it sharpens the name of the color off like faster than anything. It's so frustrating. Either way, I compared this to my Charlotte Tilbury, but I don't know. I feel like over time this is like darkened up, and it's definitely a little bit darker and more brown than my Charlotte Tilbury. And it breaks on me all the time. So it's actually worn down a lot faster because I'll sharpen it and then I'll go to use it, it just snaps off. So that frustrated me to the point where I just said, you know what, it's not worth it. I like Charlotte Tilbury. So I know a lot of people like this, and when I first purchased it, it was really a nice product. But again, the way that it breaks all the time, I feel like it's a waste of money because half of it ends up on the floor. So I just would rather save my money and then purchase Charlotte Tilbury when I want it. I do have 2 of the same basic, I guess they're like eyeliner sticks. These are the Sephora 12-hour ones. And, oh, sorry, this one says 12-hour. This one does not. This might be the older version. These are great. I keep repurchasing the brown especially. I won't be repurchasing the gray. I was kind of influenced to buy that. Angie Hot and Flashy uses like gray under her eyes a lot, but I don't do it. So I did use it and I liked it and I liked the formula, but I just stick with the browns. And so this is probably like my 5th one of the brown 12-hour liner. They also have the little sponge tip to smudge, and then they have the little sharpener too. So for the price, and especially when they do their 30% off sales, I love these Sephora sticks. All right, last product I believe that I'm going to talk about today is this. This is the Express Brow by Maybelline. I really like this. They are, they're like really small. You can't even see because I used it all up. And it has kind of a decent size like brush. These, as long as you can find the right tone, I feel like you don't need to spend a ton of money on eyebrow pencils, but I am finding that I like the skinnier ones more and more because you have so much more control. And when your eyebrows start to disappear on you, you need all the control you can get. So yes, I do recommend and I do like the Express Brow. I think it works really well. All right, I think that is it, you guys. Wow, this was a marathon and I made it through with only 1 drink of my hydration drink. All right, I hope this video helped. Thank you so much for watching and taking the time to be here today. I really appreciate you. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. And until next time, I'll see you soon.